Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Xyz, and today I'm actually going to be discussing what I personally believe might very well be one of the best Xyz monsters in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh right now. So before we start, friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. Really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. If you're subscribed to this channel, you will never miss out on any of my new competitive videos, my combos, my deck profiles, my testing videos. I'm also going to be doing a series on trying to grind the YCS tops and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure you smash the subscribe and the bell notification button. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get into this video. Alright, so the card I think is really unfair is Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal. The card is really good. It's played in a wide variety of decks such as Drytron, Virtual World, Burning Abyss. What are they all doing? Well, in Burning Abyss, it's completely different because it's not summoned with its real summoning conditions of 2 level 6 monsters, even though it technically could using Virgil and Malakoda. That's a good one. Yeah, no, you're pretty much just using Dante as a material by discarding one Burning Abyss, and that's pretty much it. However, in Virtual World and Drytron, it's completely different. So in Virtual World, a lot of monsters, even level 3 monsters or level 9 monsters, can upgrade or downgrade their level down to 6, thanks to the graveyard effect of Virtual World Chuche. So it's really easy to end your turn on a level 6 or rank 6 monster, rather. And with Beatrice, you have a lot of variety in which kind of cards you can send. You can send any card, not just a monster, any card from your deck to the graveyard as a quick effect. And the really cool thing about this is that if you are summoning it by using 2 level 6 monsters instead of discarding a Burning Abyss to overlay on top of Dante, you can use the Foolishing effect right away. You don't have to wait until the next turn, because in Burning Abyss, you would have to wait one full turn. And in Drytron, people are using it by using Diviner of the Heralds because it is technically level 2, but it gains 4 levels once it sends Herald of Arclight, so it becomes level 6, and people are also using, I believe, Cyber Angel Ida 10 as a material. But the reason why they were trying to make Beatrice is to foolish for a card called Eva, and when this card is foolished, you can banish 2 light fairies from your grave or field, well, up to 2, in order to search the same amount of light fairies that are level 2 or lower from your deck to your hand. And you already guessed it, by foolishing for 2 Evas, you can search for 4 cards, which gives you 4 negates on the Herald of Ultimateness. Very fair. Alright, so what am I actually going to show you guys in this video? Well, probably some, good targets in order to abuse the living pancake, like I said, out of the Beatrice. So the first card is pretty obvious, it's Eva. So this card is the best card to send with Drytron, for example. And then if you're playing a deck like Virtual World, we're actually gonna get a new rank 6 monster relatively soon. I think it's Skylark, the Parent Dragon, or whatever. It is kind of like a Dugaris, but during the standby phase. So you're going to be able to revive back any level 6 or lower monster. So if your Beatrice can foolish for level 6 or lower Floodgate, like, I don't know, Artifact Scythe, Spell Canceller, and Fossil Dyna Pachycephalo, well, you're going to make your opponent have an absolute nightmare because these monsters are pretty frustrating. Not to mention that Beatrice can also send some other cards like Farfa, for example. Yeah, not Burning Abyss is not the only deck that can play Farfa, you already know it. And the cool thing about Farfa in Virtual World is that it actually kind of makes for a good discard target off of the Kinglong. It looks funny because you might be thinking, whatever, what does it really do? But when you discard it, you can banish a monster your opponent controls until the end phase, and that can actually prompt a negate. So you can actually break boards with Farfa, so it's not really a brick, but when it works really well. My personal favorite, honestly, or rather maybe second place, would be Nihil Shadow Ariel. This is a triple DD Crow. It's really scary. So if you can resolve this against Sky Striker, Salamangreat, Eldritch, Drytron, everyone in the entire world, literally the whole planet loses to triple DD Crow. I mean, come on, when's the last time you saw an actual good deck that didn't use the graveyard? Don't talk about Flunderies, we're done with this. Speaking of Flunderies, you're playing Virtual World and you're against Flunderies? Well, don't worry, my guy, because you can foolish for a card that activates a floodgate from your deck to the field, because this is fair, right? Yes, Necro World Banshee. You can foolish this card with Beatrice and then banish it right away in order to activate Zombie World from your deck to the field, and as long as Zombie World is on the field, every monster on the field and in the graveyard becomes zombie. That's already a good floodgate against Salamangreat and Dragon Link, not Zombie Link, Dragon Link. Yeah, so imagine if none of their monsters are dragons. Kinda can't do too much. And another thing about Zombie World is that neither player can tribute summon except for zombie monsters. So as hilarious as this may sound, you're actually randomly immune to getting sphere moded. So if sphere mode ever becomes kind of a staple card ever again, well, Zombie World is actually going to be able to shut down this. You can still get Kaiju because Kaijus are not tribute summons, they're just special summons by tributing, but yeah, definitely do keep that in mind. A pretty popular trap card would be Mischief of the Gnomes, or rather as DP Yu-Gi-Oh says it, Mischief of the Gnomes. So basically you can banish this card to reduce, I believe, the level of each monster in your opponent's hand or in each player's hand by 1 until the end of the turn, and it's kind of like a lingering thing. So if you're playing a virtual world mirror match and you can make Beatrice to send Mischief of the Gnomes, the game's over because a virtual world level 3s become level 2, the level 6 become level 5. So unless you play like really sketch, really weird, odd level virtual synchro monsters in your extra deck, or like Xyz monsters like rank 2s, rank 5s, and weird stuff that have absolutely no business being there, especially since the extra deck space is very, very tight, you're going to be passing. You genuinely can't do anything outside of maybe establish Chooch, but that's it. Mischief of the Gnomes is a terrifying card, and again, this is for virtual world mirrors, but virtual world really is gaining in popularity. The high-rated DB players, they are actually playing virtual world way more than you think they are, because a deck that kind of rewards you for being very technical, since you have all those options, people kind of just are getting caught off guard since they are not expecting virtual world to still be playable. In their head, VFD was the only reason why virtual world was good. That is far from the truth. The deck can still do so much. It can end on Crystal Wing and Dragoon without having to play a single brick. No Red Eyes, no Dark Magician, none of that, because you are using Muddy Mutt Dragon, the level 6 synchro, in order to summon it. Or you could make Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, and of course backed up with a Crystal Wing on summon number 5, Nibiru Come At Me, and last but definitely not least, another card that is really, really, really nice against Drytron. On the other hand though, I don't know if you necessarily need it, but I would still play it, because again, this is a good card to discard off of the King Long and the Zhuang Hu, and that card would be Orchestrated Crescendo. Yes, you can banish this card in order to search your deck for a Dark Machine monster. Dark Machine, Jinzo, Gizmek, what else is there? Oh, Ally of Justice Cycle Reader! You can search a hand trap from your deck to your hand. Oh, that's really nice. What does it say? Banish 2 light monsters from your opponent's graveyard. Drytron will not be happy with this. So yeah, Nail Shadow Ariel, Ally of Justice Cycle Reader, yes, Drytron, good matchup for Virtual World, I think so. Ah man, I think you can understand why Virtual World is actually a really good deck, and even though this video was more dedicated towards saying that Beatrice is a good card, the end message is basically, if you can play Beatrice in your deck, in your extra deck, whatever, you are in such a good position, so you have such a huge advantage because of all these options. Like I said, I gave you maybe 7 or 8 options, but the world is your oyster. I mean, you can send Shadow Dragon, you can search Shadow Beast in order to draw 1 card, maybe draw Droll and Logbird because you're good at the game. There's just so many things that you can do. You can actually get your engine started, you can send Overtext Coatlas to search for Double Evolution Pale Summon Conductor Tyranno. That's actually something that people used to do, by the way. People did play a very, very small dinosaur package in Burning Abyss, just so they would have a good follow-up. Fairy Tail Snow, if it ever gets unbanned, that would be nice. Eldritch the Golden Lord, ironically, is a good card to send with Beatrice as well. Gets you a lot of damage really, really fast. 3,500 in literally 1 shot, can't be destroyed by card effects, I'm pretty down. And if you have the extra deck space, if you can afford it, your Beatrice, when it dies, it doesn't just do nothing. It summons a monster that is 20 billion times more terrifying than her. Dante Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss. Or rather, you could play Virgil instead if you want to draw 1 card when it dies, because the Dante Pilgrim, it won't really have a legitimate effect on the field, because you're probably not going to be playing Burning Abyss monsters, except if, like I said, you're playing the Farfa deck, which is pretty funny. But imagine if you play Farfa with like Nail, Shadow, Ariel, and all of that, you send it, and then your opponent Regekis you, or whatever, destroys the Beatrice. He's like, nobody plays Dante Pilgrim in Virtual World. You summon the Pilgrim, and you actually drew the Farfa, you discard it, draw a hand trap, banish their monster, and the Dante Pilgrim can't be targeted by card effects, and when it dies, you, I think, look at your opponent's hand and make them lose 1 card. Something ridiculous like that. It's so sick, man. I love this package. It's so fun. Reminds me of the good old days when I used to play Burning Abyss. I was garbage, but I was enjoying it, so. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this beautiful video on Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal card review. If you guys have any comments or feedback or any other ghost good targets that you think Beatrice should be foolishing, please let us all of us know what they are. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace.